Chill under the breeze. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under the degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under the degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
Y'all know we gotta run it back, y'all. We gotta run it back. Get in here, Diamond Gang. Let's go.
Chill under the breeze. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under the degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea.
Let's go.
Spilling this tea.
Let's go.
Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under the degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea.
Let's go, y'all.
Sip with me. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
Hey, what's up, gang? Bite, y'all. Hit that like, hit the like. What's going on, Diamond Gang? I'm back with another war update. Y'all, I found out so much. Trump was just buying time. They are sending troops over there right now. But guess what? Iran is placing little bombs everywhere in Clark Island. They are setting traps right now as troops are on their way over there. So it's going to escalate. It's going to escalate. So, shouts out to my subscribers. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Shouts out to my beautiful mods. We got a lot to go over. So, with no further ado, I'm going to bring up my screen. There is a lot going on, y'all. A lot. All Trump was doing was buying time. That's it. That's all. All right, let me make my screen a little bigger and we're going to get right into it. Let's go.
We need to remember that this isn't just a situation between the US and Iran. The Israelis are involved as well. There's been incidents in Lebanon, and clearly there's a lot going on that comes from Tel Aviv. I think that the US will try to bring Israel into the same frame of thinking, but we need to remember that the Israeli perspective on Iran is quite different from the US perspective.
Listen, gang, I told y'all this for the past 2 days. Our outlook is not the same as Israel, okay? 2 different agendas. Let's go.
From the US perspective, as I mentioned, there's a lot to do with the economic impact, but from the Israeli perspective, a lot of people there perceive this as a national security threat in a very deep and meaningful way, and I think it's important to remember that.
Trump went from negotiating a complete surrender to possibly negotiating a way out.
And let me tell you guys right now, neither side was willing to bend or fold. So Iran said, nah, we're not going for that. And the U.S. told Iran, we're not going for that. So there is no negotiation right now. Okay. We are gearing up and they are gearing up right now. As I'm telling you guys, this war is about to escalate.
This is perhaps due to not having a plan B. And going along with Israel's plan and continuing this complete regional chaos, which possibly could result into a long-term conflict in Iran, which it seems like Israel was hoping that the U.S. would permanently take the front seat. It seems like the Trump administration forgot that there are midterm elections in October and November, which means that
And listen, Diamond Gang, guess what I found out? They were literally showing Trump in the briefings just clips of the U.S. bombing. That's it. That's all. They was not showing Trump anything else. So to him, it looks as if we're winning. Let's go.
Prolonged conflict wouldn't make sense, statistically speaking. Economically speaking, we're seeing a potential economic crisis in the U.S. and a current economic crisis globally speaking.
It's a really important negotiation. I want to ask you a silly question, I guess. Is this negotiation really taking place or is it not?
Actually, that is the $65,000 question, American question. I mean, for your own viewers, we need to caution our viewers is that it's the fog of war, right?
Right, the fog of war. So this picture is foggy. It's not clear. The picture that Trump is painting, it is not clear. Please believe me.
Right.
They have to be careful. There's a great deal of dust, and we are all blinded by the dust on both sides. The Americans and the Iranians have their own narratives. And what we know about President Trump...
Listen, gang, Iran was literally mocking Trump and said he was negotiating with himself. That's what they said. Let's go.
I mean, this is well documented. He basically has contradictory statements, shifting positions, and also he engages in deception and falsehood, according to even American media, New York Times and CNN. So here what we know. We know that key regional states, Pakistan, Oman, Qatar, Turkey and Egypt have been, basically passing statements and messages between the American and the Iranian teams over the past 2 weeks or so.
Now, we figured that out yesterday. We said that Trump was not talking directly to anyone from Iran. Let's go.
Right.
We also know that American Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff have been also in communication with their Iranian counterpart.
And Iran said they do not want to talk to those two at all. At all. They want to talk to Vance. They don't want to talk to Kushner.
the foreign minister. And we know that the head of the parliament, Mohammed Ghalibaf, has also been involved. The most important piece of information for me, for your own viewers, is that Pakistan strongman, the top general, Asim Munir, spoke to President Trump on Sunday for a long time. And Pakistani Prime Minister Muhammad Sharif.
So listen up, gang. That's who Trump was talking to. He was not speaking directly to Iran. He was speaking to the Prime Minister of Pakistan to make this deal go through. And I told you guys that he was talking to somebody, but it wasn't directly to Iran.
Also spoke to the Iranian Prime Minister on Monday, the following Monday.
Right.
And more evidence is emerging that Pakistan could serve as a venue for further talks between the Americans and the Iranians. And what the piece of good news that I think it's a very important piece of news is that America's Vice President J.D. Vance might participate.
That's who they want. Vance he's been distancing himself. He does not like the fact that this is going on and that it's going to escalate. Right now, they feel like Vance has the more level head. So they want to speak to him. They don't want to speak to nobody but Vance. So they're trying to get him in on this. Let's go.
In the Pakistani talks, because J.D. Vance is skeptical of the war. And I don't think the Americans trust Witkoff and Jared Kushner because of their...
Listen, Diamond Gang. I went far to get these clips. Like, I was busy today. All I'm asking for is a like. Every day I come with information. That's all. I'm not asking for a cash app, a super chat, nor a super sticker. Just a like will suffice. That's it. That's all. Please and thank you. Can you hit the like?
Bad experiences with them last June and this time. So Pakistan is in, even though Turkey, Oman, Qatar, and Egypt are also playing a helpful role in this kind of mediation.
But Iran remains defiant, denying that any direct or indirect talks are taking place, despite what Pakistan has been saying, with their ministry spokesperson going so far as to say, our first and last word has been, is, and will be the same from day one. Someone like us will never come to terms with someone like you, neither now nor ever.
So I'm not.
Now, let me say this. What they came up with was ridiculous. So, of course, we said no. And they're saying that our 15-point deal for them was out of line, too. So both sides are saying no. Let's go.
I'm not concerned about war. What I'm concerned of is miscalculations. And I think President Trump is wise enough to make the correct decision.
How can a meaningful negotiations process be jump-started right now?
We have lost our trust to the United States as a negotiator.
And this is the problem, because we don't trust them and they damn sure don't trust us. That's another reason why it's going to escalate. Trump was just buying time, y'all. The troops are on their way. And like I said, Iran right now are placing bombs on Clark Island. So it's on. It is on, y'all. World War III is on its way.
Negotiating partner. There are now some intermediators, some friendly countries in the region who are trying to build this confidence. So I see the possibility of another talk if the U.S. negotiation team follows what President Trump said, a fair and equitable deal to ensure that there is no nuclear weapons.
According to...
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let's go.
What you did know and were able to declare in these IAEA reports, Iran had uranium enriched up to 60%, weapons grade is 90, as I understand it.
Yeah.
And if that material remains now in Iran after combat ends.
And I truly believe if Trump can negotiate this part of the deal, we will be fine. It's Israel. They're going to keep going because this is not their main motive.
Will it still have nuclear capabilities if it has the enriched material and the centrifuges?
Well, you remember, and for this, I would quote or partially refer to things that have been said in Iran by Iranians. You remember very important officials saying, we have all the elements of the puzzle. So when this is said, we were telling them this is unhelpful, or at least you should explain what is meant by that.
Yeah, when they say we have all pieces to the puzzle, that means, yeah, we could put together some stuff that will tear you guys up, is what it sounds like. And it is not helpful because it sounds threatening.
Is a vast program, all right? And so, albeit the physical destruction that has been acted upon these facilities, there's a lot going on. And don't forget something, Margaret, when we talk about centrifuges, when we talk about this kind of facilities, this is an activity that can be relatively, I wouldn't say easily, but it is very possible to reconstruct this effort. Is metallurgy, is a sophisticated washing machine. It's nothing, I mean, and you cannot unlearn what you've learned.
Right, you can't bomb away the knowledge. So that capability.
That part, they know they got the knowledge. They know right now they have the materials.
It will exist after combat.
Exactly, and it was very sophisticated. Let's not forget, again, referring back to JCPOA. JCPOA.
Trump has said this on multiple occasions. They are very intelligent. He said this out of his own mouth. They are.
Was based or predicated upon a very primitive type of centrifuge. Now Iran has the most sophisticated, fast and efficient machine that exists. And they know how to make it, and they know. And on top of that, there may be places out there which are not nuclear places. This is why what I say is that we still need to find a framework, an agreed framework that is
a balance. That's what we need to find.
Going to be providing us with the necessary previsibility and sense of a clear idea of where they are, what they want to go.
Because this war will not destroy Iran's nuclear ambitions and capabilities.
I would say any war. Unless it was nuclear.
Bingo. Any war.
War, and you go for destruction in an unfathomable way, which we hope, of course, will never be the case.
Overnight, Iran sent a deal to the United States to...
Now, listen up. We're going to go over this deal, which was crazy. We said no.
And the war, and it has already been rejected by the Trump administration. According to the Wall Street Journal, these are the Iranian demands for an end to the war. And I can guarantee you that some of these things just absolutely are not happening. For example, closure of all U.S. bases in the Gulf, not happening. Guarantees of no further attacks, end to Israeli strikes on Hezbollah, lifting all sanctions on Iran, war damage reparations. I don't see that one happening either. And no restrictions on the missile program. That's what...
Bingo. No restrictions on the missile program. That's a big no. And reparations. They're not getting that.
Iran wants. And the Wall Street Journal has reported that the U.S. has already responded to this. Quote, a U.S. official called the demands ridiculous and unrealistic. In addition to that, the United States sent Iran.
And don't forget, they asked for a toll booth at the Straits of Hormuz. They wanted a toll booth.
On a 15-point plan to end the war. That was also rejected by Iran because there were some very, very serious demands in there, which I just don't see them accepting anytime soon. But the main point is both sides are very far apart right now. There's like no...
Did y'all hear that? Both sides are very far apart. There is no negotiating right now. And it don't look like there's going to be, with troops on their way.
Middle ground to which they want to agree to. So this war doesn't seem to be ending.
To be honest, I believe Trump was just buying time to get the troops over there.
Anytime soon, unless somebody decides to break and negotiate or accept some of these demands.
This is breaking news.
But I will say this, they are steps ahead because they are planting bombs right now.
State television in Iran is reporting that the Iranians have reviewed the United States' proposal to end the fighting in the Middle East and have rejected them. President Trump has said he won't carry out attacks on Iranian power plants to give room for negotiations to happen. But if they fail, he's prepared to hit that infrastructure immediately.
And it looks like it's coming. Like I said, they are placing bombs on Clark Island. If you have children, husband, wife, nieces, nephews that's in the military, I am praying for them. I am praying for them.
This is breaking news. Iran has rejected the Trump administration's ceasefire proposal. This was announced via Iranian state media and also through a statement released by the Iranian consulate in Mumbai that said, in part, Iran has rejected the U.S. proposal conveyed through a friendly regional.
Diamond Gang, hit that like. I got 23 likes and there's over 250 people in the building. Please hit the like. Please and thank you.
Mediator and is prepared to continue its defense and inflict heavy blows on the enemy. This comes as there were some developments toward possible negotiations, but again, it appears, according to Iranian state media, that the Iranians have rejected the initial offer, a 15-point plan by the Trump administration. We have yet to get any formal reaction from the White House, but there will be a press briefing today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
This is breaking news. Iran has laid out their conditions for ending the war here in the Middle East. They include an end of aggression and assassinations of their top leaders, security guarantees.
The crazy part of it is that their leaders are gone. And that's Israel's main thing. That's what they just want to keep going and going. They don't want them to have leaders.
To ensure the war does not resume, reparations and payback for the damage caused in Iran, conclusion of the war against Iran and resistance groups, other Iranian-backed militias around the region, and Iran retaining sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran state TV has outlined 5 specific conditions under which Iran would agree to end the war. These include a complete halt to, quote, aggression and assassinations by the enemy, the establishment of concrete mechanisms to ensure the war is not reimposed on the Islamic Republic, guaranteed and clearly defined payment of war damages and reparations, the conclusion of the war across all fronts and for all resistance groups involved.
And I showed you guys that yesterday. Israel said, regardless of what Trump says, and that's another thing, we have to include Israel. We got to come together when it comes to that. And we're on 2 different thought patterns.
Involved throughout the region, and international recognition and guarantees regarding Iran's sovereign right to exercise authority over the Strait of Hormuz.
The Iranians are not likely going to agree to an end to the war without getting sanctions relief and potentially other concessions from the U.S. You cannot rule it out. At the end of the day, this is President Trump. He's very different from any other president. But I don't think we've seen much signs that would suggest that he's moved in that direction. The kind of statements they've put up so far still takes a very unrealistic and maximalist position. That's not to say that the Iranian positions are not maximalist or unrealistic either.
Both sides are unrealistic what they're asking. And we'll get a little bit more into the 15 points that Trump was suggesting.
But nevertheless, there has to be a give and take from both sides. And the appetite for that from Trump's end does not appear to be particularly high. And I don't see any deal happening without both sides giving something to the other. Both sides also need.
And that's the point. Neither side is willing to break, bend, or fold. Hit the like, gang.
A win to be able to put an end to this war.
The U.S. has reportedly put forth a 15-point proposal to end the war in Iran, and Iran has responded. It's rejected the plan. It says it will end the war and strikes on its neighbors only if the U.S., among other things, pays Iran war damages and reparations. NPR's Emily Fang has more.
The U.S. has been pushing Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and let energy exports flow to the rest of the world again.
And right now, the Strait of Hormuz got us in a chokehold. Real talk. They got us in a chokehold with this one. They never thought in a million years that they would do this.
Iran has refused. An Iran state broadcaster reports a senior political security official has rejected a U.S. proposal.
And another thing, Diamond Gang, that huge gift, when you guys found out what the huge gift was, you're not going to believe it. Stay tuned because I got that too. Trump said that they offered and they gave us this huge gift. It didn't benefit us at all, y'all. It did not benefit us.
Setting up 5 conditions. These include ending the war only if the U.S. stopped assassinating Iranian leaders and setting up mechanisms to ensure the U.S. could not wage war on Iran again. The official also asked for the U.S. to pay for war damages. Joint U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran have hit thousands of targets, including many government buildings, gas pipelines, schools, and hospitals. Iran also demanded the U.S. recognize its sovereign right to control the Strait of Hormuz.
The news of the proposed.
And yesterday, Trump was talking about splitting, like they both can run it. Iran's not going for that.
Ceasefire comes as Operation Epic Fury began nearly a month ago. Meanwhile, NPR has learned that paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division are preparing to deploy to the Middle East. NPR's Quill Lawrence reports this could signal an escalation and a possible use of ground.
It is going to cause escalation. That's all he was doing was buying time. He thought that threat was going to make them move. And when it didn't, he held it up for 5 more days. Enough time to get those troops over there.
Troops in the war with Iran.
2,000 to 3,000 troops from the 82nd Airborne, based in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, have received written orders to deploy to the Middle East, according to a U.S. government official who is not authorized to speak publicly. The soldiers will come from the division's immediate response force, which is able to mobilize worldwide within 18 hours to do a variety of missions. Along with 2 Marine Expeditionary Units already sailing toward the Persian Gulf, this could bring about 6,000 to 8,000 American ground troops in close proximity to Iran.
Did y'all hear that? 6,000 to 8,000 troops, y'all. And they're going to be in Iran in proximity. But yeah, they go to Cork Island, it's going to be crazy.
President Trump has alternately said he would not put boots on the ground and that he won't rule it out.
I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News. For more of today's news, be sure to like and follow us or check out NPR
And
News.
it's just crazy that they literally was just showing him snippets in these briefings, snippets of us bombing them.
News now, wherever you get your podcasts.
We have some major Iran war news right now. According to NBC News, Donald Trump is getting video briefings every day, compiling all of the United States' successes.
Bingo. All of our successes. So that's all he's being shown. And that's why he's walking out here talking cocky and being the way that he is. Because that's all they're showing him.
Videos of the United States bombing targets in Iran every single day. And there's very little detail about what Iran is doing. And there are now concerns that Donald Trump is not getting the full picture of what's actually happening in Iran. He's only being shown, or rather he's only wanting to be seen, the successful bombings, and that's it. Now, at the same time, Iran...
That is not good. How can you make sound decisions, safe decisions off of just one side of the story without seeing the whole entire scope? Y'all, this is crazy.
Is actively mocking the United States of America over negotiations. Iran's top military spokesperson ridiculed Washington by asking whether its, quote, internal conflicts had reached the point that the United States of America has to negotiate with itself. So it's pretty clear right now that, at least for now, negotiations aren't really going anywhere. They appear to be stalled, but we'll see what happens over the next several hours and days. As always, spread the word and follow
Mocking Trump. This is crazy.
along for all the news you need to know about more to come.
New reporting that the president's understanding of the war in Iran is being shaped in part by short highlight reels of what one official describes as stuff being blown up.
How can you run the show? How can you run the show and make decisions? This is unreal.
According to an NBC News exclusive, those daily montages are typically around 2 minutes long and consist basically of clips like these.
2-minute clips, y'all. That's all Trump is saying. I'm praying Vance get over there and talk to people. I am. Because he has a level head. And like I said, he is very skeptical. He does not like the fact that this is going on.
Showing the biggest and most successful military strikes of the past 48 hours. Now, it's unclear if Trump is getting any context around what he's seeing, And the administration insists this is not the only information he's getting. He does get regular national security.
Every speech, we bombed this, we unalived this person, unalived that person. That's all he's saying.
Security briefings. But one official told NBC Trump's briefings tend to draw better feedback from his aides when they focus on U.S. victories, with comparatively little detail about Iranian actions. And multiple officials say it's fueling some concern among some of Trump's allies that he may.
Wouldn't you guys think that he would need to know what actions Iran is taking? Like, what?
Not be receiving or absorbing the complete picture of the war. Of course, that picture includes the growing cost to the American people. Nationwide gas prices are now up a full $1 since the war started. The national average just under $4.
Spend wisely. This war is going to be a long haul. It's going to be going on for a while.
And up to 3,000 more troops are being sent into harm's way. Paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division. Iran, meantime, seems intent on keeping the war going, launching fresh attacks on Israel, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE.
Yeah,
and that's just today.
That's today. So they are launching attacks on their neighbors.
President Trump, though, sees things differently.
Oh, God.
They're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won.
Trump may think Iran wants it.
Y'all see why he's saying that? Because that's all they're showing him is us bombing Iran. That's it. That's all. They're not showing or telling him anything else. This is why he's coming out here all the time saying that. Like, that's crazy.
Deal, but Iran says no, because just about 90 minutes ago, Iranian state TV reported that Tehran rejected the U.S. peace plan.
Regime change in Iran. That's one of the things that both President Trump and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu apparently hoped for at the start of this war, calling on ordinary Iranians to rise up against their own government. Now, so far,
I don't see it happening. I just don't.
Hasn't happened. But on Tuesday, President Trump claimed not only that Iran's leadership was eager to do a deal to end the war, not only that Iran had agreed that it would never have a nuclear weapon, but he also suggested that regime change has already occurred because many of Iran's leaders have been killed by strikes and replaced.
That's not true either. No, it hasn't.
Now, it's unlikely that many Iran watchers would agree with Trump's assessment that regime change has occurred because Iran is still an Islamic republic. In fact, some view the country's new supreme leader as even more conservative than his predecessor, who was also his father. As for Trump's other claims, the only thing that Iran has confirmed to CBS News is that it has, quote, received points from the US through mediators and they are being reviewed. A spokesman for Iran's military released a video statement today openly mocking President Trump's talk of.
Listen, I've watched this guy on multiple occasions. He is nothing nice. He's nasty.
A ceasefire deal and saying, quote, have your internal conflicts reach the point where you are negotiating with yourselves.
Iran has come out today and said they are not negotiating with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner anymore.
They want Vance in there. Let's go. They said that they don't trust those two. They want to talk to Vance, JD Vance, and that's it. That's all.
They want JD Vance. They want to talk to JD Vance. They think they can hammer out a deal with him potentially. They said,
gang, I think we could make it happen with Vance. I really do.
Negotiating with Witkoff and Kushner after they were doing that and then they bombed us is not going to work. And who could blame them, really? So they want to start fresh. They think they can make it happen with JD Vance, but at least they're saying they want to talk. So maybe there could be an end.
Come on, Vance, come through for the U.S. We need you.
End in sight diplomatically to this conflict. Now they're saying it's going to be hard to negotiate, especially when Trump is continuing to move troops into the region and threatening them.
And that's the part where the trust comes in. Because it's like, okay, you moving troops in for what when we're supposed to be negotiating? But hey, they got heads up and they're preparing for it.
So we'll see what happens here, guys. Do you think JD Vance is the one to get the job done? Can he pull it through? This will be his first major test to see if he's able to pull off a major diplomatic.
He does this, that I'm telling you, JD Vance do this, and we're going to look at the Republican Party a lot different for the ones that don't really fool around with them.
Like win. We'll see if it goes anywhere and if he can do it. I don't think he can. Let me know what you think.
See, man, I think he can.
Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
So Iran has rejected Donald Trump's 15-point peace plan. It's not surprising because from the Iranian point of view, it reads more like a surrender document than the opening of a negotiation. They've countered with some ridicule about America being defeated and also with a list of demands of their own, which frankly, the other side, the Americans and the Israelis, will find equally unacceptable. Now, it could be the beginning of a negotiation, or if there's no deal, there might be an escalation.
Bingo. I told y'all, it's going to be an escalation, without a doubt.
American ground troops are on their way to the Gulf. Perhaps they'll be used to seize some Iranian territory to try and put some more pressure on the regime. That is actually a risky thing for the Americans to do. I think the Iranians...
It's very risky. If you have sons, daughters, mothers, aunts, uncles, I'm praying for them. This is a mission that's is very dangerous, and we will have casualties. That's just the bottom line.
Would have a plan, and also they want to pull the Americans into a longer, more attritional war. And that's something, of course, that from the American perspective will raise memories of Iraq in 2003 and the years following that. The Israeli perspective is a little bit different. What they want.
Didn't I tell y'all Israel don't want to stop? Didn't I tell y'all that? They want this to go on and on and on. I told y'all that.
What they want to do is inflict a generational level of damage on the Islamic Republic, their most bitter enemy, and they're quite happy to keep on doing this.
It turns out
I told y'all, this is going to be hard to get out of. It's easy to get into, hard to get out of.
the gift that Donald Trump claimed Iran gave us.
Now listen up. This is the big gift that he was so happy about. It's nothing for us.
Yesterday, which is supposed to be worth a tremendous amount of money, actually doesn't benefit the United States or Israel at all. Remember, Trump said in the Oval Office, Iran did something yesterday that was amazing. They gave us a present worth a tremendous amount of money. It arrived today. But it turns out, according to a U.S. official and a senior Arab diplomat cited by the Times of Israel, he was referring to Tehran allowing a limited number.
Hit the like, Diamond Gang, please and thank you. I got over 200 people in the building with 38 likes. Come on, y'all. I'm not on here begging for cash apps. I'm not saying super chat, send me a super sticker, none of that. Just a like. I take time out. I put these clips together. I narrate. Come on, gang. I deserve more likes than 39. Please.
Of non-U.S., non-Israeli fuel tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This move came after Washington, through intermediary countries, asked Iran for a goodwill gesture to test it was actually speaking to actors in a position of power. But analysts cited by the TOI said the gift only had a modest impact on global oil markets, if that, and does not amount to a major concession at all. Remember,
did y'all hear that? Don't amount to nothing. Let me bring that back. Man, I thought this gift was going to be something huge. It's nothing. Let's go.
Diplomat cited by the Times of Israel, he was referring to Tehran allowing a limited number of non-U.S., non-Israeli fuel tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This move came after Washington, through intermediary countries, asked Iran for a goodwill gesture to test it was actually speaking to actors in a position of power. But analysts cited by the TOI said the gift only had a modest impact on global oil markets, if that, and does not amount to a major concession at all. Remember, Trump also declared the war was won. Regime change has been successful, and Saudi Arabia is fighting with us. But 5 minutes after he made...
Why did he say that? They said, no, they're not. Let's go.
made this accusation, Saudi Arabia confirmed they are not encouraging this war. Trump wants us to think this war is over and we've already won, but the truth is we are being embarrassed. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. They're still conducting strikes as of today, and they refused a ceasefire proposal.
We're in negotiations right now.
President Trump claimed the regime is so near defeat, it has no choice but to negotiate an end to the war.
They could be depleted and defeated as long as they're controlling the Strait of Hormuz. They got a leg up on us. That's just it in a nutshell. That's just it in a nutshell.
Killed all their leadership. And then they met to choose new leaders, and we killed all of them. And now we have a new group.
What makes you trust them?
Do you think I trust them? I don't trust them.
Well, then why bother talking to them?
He don't even know them. He's talking to somebody else.
Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth of...
Y'all see that? And I just told y'all what the present was. It didn't benefit us at all.
tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is.
The president would only say the present involves oil and gas and the Strait of Hormuz. Average gas prices are now nearing $4 a gallon nationwide. But even as indirect negotiations continue, the U.S. is preparing to send about 1,000 members of the Army's 82nd Airborne Division who specialize in parachuting into hostile territory. Also on the way, about 5,000 U.S. Marines, adding to more than 50,000 American troops already in the region.
50,000 already in the region, Diamond Gang.
Possible targets, Karg Island, Iran.
Boom, Karg Island, that's a possible target. And I just told y'all, they are right now, as I speak, planting bombs. Iran is planting bombs on Karg Island. This is dangerous. Thanks for hitting a like, y'all.
Key oil shipping depot, or even the Iranian coastline to help secure the strait. But even some Republicans have called on the president to clarify his plans.
The White House really does need to articulate the plan so that people aren't reacting to their own hypothetical.
I don't know why I think they're going to articulate the plan. We still don't understand why we're even in this right now, this active war.
Deployment of what troops on the ground looks like.
You said a few weeks ago that we are not at war with Iran. Is that still your position?
I think we're wrapping up Operation Epic.
We're not wrapping up nothing. It's amping up. Hit the like, Diamond Gang. Get me to 100 likes, please. Yesterday, I had over 20,000 people watching me, and I got 100 likes, a little over 100 likes. Come on, y'all.
Fury, that's what I think. And I think it will be done in short order, and that'll be right on schedule. Yes.
The remaining elements of the Iranian regime have another opportunity to cooperate with President Trump, permanently abandon their nuclear ambitions, and cease actively threatening.
Now, this was today. Again, Iran mocked us and said that we were negotiating with ourselves. Does it look like they're going to surrender? No.
America and our allies. But the president's preference is always peace. There does not need to be any more death and destruction. But if Iran fails to accept the reality of the current moment, if they fail to understand that they have been defeated militarily and will.
Now, she said the president prefers peace when he said we're going to bomb our little hearts out. I guess that's peace to him. That doesn't sound like peace to me.
Continue to be, President Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have ever been hit before. President Trump does not bluff, and he is prepared to unleash hell. Iran should.
But here's the thing. If we hit harder and he's prepared to unleash hell, that is not going to get the Strait of Hormuz opened. If anything, it's going to make it 10 times worse. Let's go.
Should not miscalculate again. Their last miscalculation cost them their senior leadership, their Navy, their Air Force, and their air defense system. Any violence beyond this point will be because the Iranian regime refused to understand they have already been defeated and refused to come to a deal.
Just within the past few hours, Iranian state TV has said that Iran has rejected the U.S.'s 15-point plan to end the war. What's the White House's response to that, and have these talks hit a dead end?
They have not. Talks continue. They are productive, as the president said on Monday, and they continue to be.
However, I saw a 15-point plan that was floated in the media. I would caution reporters in this room from reporting about speculative points or speculative plans.
That part, they did not come out with the 15 points. Now, they are leaking some of them, but there's no clear cut and dry. It's not out there. I looked for it. It's not out there.
From anonymous sources. The White House never confirmed that full plan. There are elements of truth to it, but some of the stories I read were not in.
Later on, Diamond Gang, we are going to talk about Trump taking those classified documents to Mar-a-Lago, golfing with him. That was insane. We're going to talk about it.
Entirely factual. So I am not going to negotiate on behalf of the president here at the podium. What I will tell you is these talks are ongoing. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty details that have been exchanged between the United States and Iran at this time.
Mr. President, do you think Israel will be ready to end the war when you're ready?
I think so. Yeah. These are thugs and animals and.
This is what I'm saying. They're thugs and animals, and they're going to be ready when he says so. Thugs and animals don't listen to what he has to say. They could care less.
Horrible people, but you can't hit anybody harder than we've hit them. But I'm not surprised. They executed 3 young people for protesting. Look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
And again, that's all that they are showing Trump is pictures of us bombing them, nothing else.
9,000 enemy targets have been struck to date. Compared to the start of the operation, Iran's ballistic missile attacks and drone attacks are down by roughly 90%. The United States is also annihilating the Iranian regime's navy. We have destroyed more than 140 of their naval vessels.
They could do all of that, but they still control the Straits of Hormuz. I don't care what they annihilate and obliterate. I don't care. They still run that.
Including almost 50 mine layers. This is the largest elimination of a Navy over a 3-week period since World War II. Again, let me reiterate, this is the largest elimination of a Navy on the face of the planet in a 3-week period since World War II.
This morning, the Pentagon is preparing to deploy up to 1,500 paratroopers to the
There they go, y'all. They leaving.
Middle East as the president weighs diplomacy. Sources tell ABC News the Trump administration sent a 15-point plan to Iran to end the war. And this morning, Pakistan says they have delivered.
Diamond Gang, I was really hoping for a better outcome. Last night I said that. I said, I'm going to pray so hard for a better outcome.
The proposal. President Trump alluding to the plan just days ago, claiming Iran had already signed on.
Can you give us a
Many, like 15 points. 15 points.
Iran has said yes.
Well, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. That's number one. That's number 1, 2, and 3. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
They said yes to that?
They've agreed to that.
Iran still insists
They haven't agreed to anything, Diamond Gang.
negotiations are not taking place and claims Trump's statements saying otherwise are parts of efforts to reduce energy prices and buy time for the implementation of his military.
Y'all hear that? Buy time for the implementation of his military plan. That's all he was doing, y'all. That's it.
Plans. Still, the president is adamant negotiations are underway, though he won't say who the U.S. is speaking to. He cryptically told reporters he knows Iran is going to make a deal because they gave the U.S. what he called a very big present, without saying what it is.
I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant
This statement right here totally flopped. It went nowhere.
prize, and they gave it to us.
We're also learning more this morning about the toll that this war has taken. Already 13 U.S. service members have been killed during this conflict, and a U.S. official tells us more than 290 have been wounded.
It is possible.
Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys think that this is going to be a long, drawn-out process, that we are nowhere near negotiations. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that there is hope. Do that for me, y'all. I want to see. Put a 1 if you know for a fact this is far from over. Put a 2 if you got hope. This is far from over.
That what he's trying to do is simply delay things in order to get those additional military facilities to the region. And the idea that the 82nd Airborne is being sent in, I mean, these are...
Melanated. Marie, what's up, y'all?
Paratroopers. These are people who jump out of aeroplanes and land on enemy terrain.
How you smelling me through my mic and through the computer screen? People, trolls say the craziest things, y'all. Thanks, gang. Thanks.
Is boosting speculation here that he may be considering a limited, maybe not so limited, deployment of ground troops. And the difficulty about that is not only that it would be highly risky in terms of the military mission, whether the military mission is to control Karg Island in the Strait of Hormuz and or try and find the enriched uranium that he claims was destroyed.
Listen, they go looking for that enriched uranium. I told y'all prior to when they were making plans. Those type of plans can take months and it's very risky. They can look for that uranium and find blanks. They had enough time to remove it and hide it somewhere else. So this is crazy.
Last summer. Also, it would be political kryptonite here because he has not prepared the American public in any way for the deployment of ground.
That part. He has not prepared the American public for this at all. At all. He made it seem like if we have to, we will. But it may be far away from that, or it's almost over. It's almost over till you sending troops is on one side of the earth. Like it's far apart, those two things. Like, that's crazy.
Ground forces and the real possibility of a substantial uptick in American fatalities in this war zone. He never even prepared the American public for the war generally in the first place. But the idea that he's sending the 82nd Airborne in is either a psychological pressure point designed to force the Iranians to the table, or he's really got a plan to escalate.
Bingo. So what he said is they're either trying to force Iran to come to the table and talk about negotiations, or he's really going to hit. And I think if they don't talk to Vance, it's going to go down.
Has the upper hand right now?
Iran. I regret having come to this conclusion because, like many MI6 officers of my generation,
Diamond Gang, listen to the reason why he's saying Iran has the upper hand, please.
We've faced the violence and brutality of the IRGC for most of our careers.
That's the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps.
Yeah. So there is no love lost between us. And I shed no tears for Ali Khamenei, who was killed at the beginning of this war. But the reality is the US underestimated the task. And I think, as of about 2 weeks ago, lost the initiative to Iran. In practice, the Iranian regime has been more resilient than I think anyone would have expected. They took some good...
Period. And I've been telling you guys this. When you take their leaders, they become more dangerous. Taking their leaders don't calm them down. It just amps them up. I've been telling you guys that since the beginning. Please hit the like. Please hit the like.
Decisions, actually, as early as last June about dispersing their military capability and delegating the authority for the use of those weapons, which has given them significant extra resilience against this incredibly powerful.
Last week, they unalived, I just know his first name, Ali. He was the one that would be able to mediate for them. He's gone. He's gone. They like the one man that could potentially help put a deal on the table. We unalived.
Air campaign. They have embarked on what's technically called horizontal escalation, i.e. firing rockets at anybody within range, which at the time, honestly, Shawshank, I thought was nuts, but in fact has been a very good way of putting in direct price on the US. Sort of worked. And then they've understood the significance of the energy war and held the straits at threat.
That part, the energy war. They know as long as they tie the Straits of Hormuz, they got a leg up on us.
And globalized and essentially not internationalized, just globalized the conflict in a way that gives them some weapons. So, they've played a weak hand pretty well. My second point is that Donald Trump has said some stuff that will have confirmed something they knew already, which is that they're in a civilizational war in their terms. They're in a war of existence. Donald Trump made it very clear that he wanted to see them up against the wall, basically, whereas America has embarked on a war of choice. And
bingo, this is a war of choice. I believe that, and I've been saying it since the beginning.
And in those terms, I think that's imbued them with more staying power than their US and certainly US counterparts. And they know that now. And I think that really is giving them the whip hand.
We just learned that Iran has been laying traps and moving additional military personnel and air defenses in preparation for a possible US invasion.
Did you hear that? I got this right before I came on. That's why I had to put my live stream back. Did you hear that? They're laying traps for these troops from the U.S. that's on their way over there. One more time. One more time.
In their terms, they're in a war of existence. Donald Trump made it very clear that he wanted to see them up against the wall, basically, whereas America has embarked on a war of choice. And in those terms, I think that's imbued them with more staying power than their US and certainly US counterparts. And they know that now. And I think that really is giving them the whip hand.
Gang. Listen up.
We just learned that Iran has been laying traps and moving additional military personnel and air defenses in preparation for a possible US invasion. Iran has been laying these traps on Karg Island, the tiny island.
Bingo. Didn't I just show y'all that they were going to send troops over there? Didn't I just show y'all that? This is going to escalate. Please, please, please hit the like, Diamond Gang. Hit the like.
In the northeastern Persian Gulf, an economic lifeline for Iran that handles roughly 90% of their crude exports, and a place that Donald Trump has talked about invading. And these traps include anti-personnel and anti-armor mines around the island, where U.S. troops could possibly stage an amphibious landing if Donald Trump moved forward with this ground operation.
Did y'all hear that? This is serious. This is serious.
But of course, there would be significant risk with this operation. We would likely lose a lot of American troops, and some allies of Donald Trump are raising.
Did y'all hear that? Didn't I just tell y'all that? Prepare yourselves, brace yourselves, because the reality of it is that we may have casualties, because they are right now plotting for those troops that's on their way over there.
Serious questions about whether there is a need to attempt such an operation. Throughout this war, Donald Trump has consistently underestimated Iran. And so it terrifies me that he might just go forward with this operation, put a bunch of troops on the ground, and there are mines everywhere. So
bingo, mines everywhere. This is so dangerous. And I told y'all that in the beginning of this live stream. This is serious. This is more serious than the beginning, the last week. This is serious.
Of course, I will keep you updated on anything that happens here, but a serious development that I don't think Donald Trump will take seriously whatsoever.
Iran just issued a stark warning to the
United
United
States.
States.
These comments real quick. I can't wait to get to the comments. You said Iran has a lot of tunnels. We will have casualties. These are our kids. This is awful. Very serious. Yeah. Y'all thought I was playing. I'm not playing. I've been watching this all day, non-stop.
They just posted.
You said China, Russia, none have tried Iran, but they are sending aid. What? Who is we? I ain't going nowhere. Send ICE over there. I feel you, Omar. This is getting crazy. Crazy, y'all. I can't wait to get to the comments section. Let's go.
There are mines everywhere. So of course, I will keep you updated on anything that happens here, but a serious development that I don't think Donald Trump will take seriously whatsoever.
Iran just issued a stark warning to the United States. They just posted hours ago, based on certain intelligence, Iran's adversaries, backed by a regional country, are preparing an operation to occupy one of Iran's islands. We're going to assume this is Karg Island. Any step forward will be met with relentless strikes on.
Please, y'all, get me to 100 likes. That's all I'm asking. Please and thank you. Let's go.
that regional country's critical infrastructure without limitation. I just learned on CNN, it just broke, that they're saying Iran has fortified Karg Island. They've laid mines, they've set up ground defenses. They are prepared for any sort of military action by the United States or Israel to try and take the island. Why is Karg Island so important? Well, it processes 90% of Iran's oil, which is the key economic backbone.
Y'all hear this? Hit the like, y'all. Hit the like. I pushed my live stream back to get this information to y'all. So he's sending all these troops over there to Karg Island, and they are planting mines, bombs. Let's go.
Into the country. If Trump decides to try and take Karg Island, this could end up being a bloodbath for United States service members, and it will disrupt the global oil supply even further. And any retaliation.
Let me bring this back for the people in the back that don't believe what I'm saying. One more time. This is it. This is the escalation.
This operation put a bunch of troops on the ground, and there are mines everywhere. So of course I will keep you updated on anything that happens here, but a serious development that I don't think Donald Trump will take seriously whatsoever.
Iran just issued a stark warning to the United States. They just posted hours ago, based on certain intelligence, Iran's adversaries, backed by a regional country, are preparing an operation to occupy one of Iran's islands. We're going to assume this is Karg Island. Any step forward will be met with relentless strikes on that regional country's critical infrastructure without limitation. I just learned on CNN, it just broke, that they're saying Iran has fortified Karg Island. They've laid mines, they've set up ground defenses. They are prepared for.
I'm telling y'all now, I'm not going to sleep. Y'all know I'm going to be right back tomorrow because I'm going to be watching this nonstop.
For any sort of military action by the United States or Israel to try and take the island. Why is Karg Island so important? Well, it processes 90% of Iran's oil, which is the key economic backbone to the country. If Trump decides to try and take Karg Island, this could end up being a bloodbath for United States service members, and it will disrupt the global oil supply even further. And any retaliation by Iran to the Middle East countries could potentially be devastating. Guys,
our kids is in trouble. Our people, everybody, listen up. This is it. This is the escalation that we did not want.
This is major news. Make sure to spread the word. Let everyone know about it. Comment what you think. Like, share, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
We have some pretty major news this morning. Jack Smith, the former special counsel.
Now we get ready to get into these documents that Trump had at the golf course, y'all.
Council found that Donald Trump took such secret documents, only 6 people in the federal government were allowed to see it. But that's not all. New reporting from Scott McFarlane, based on what the House Judiciary Committee has released today, shows that Donald Trump actually showed some of these secret documents to folks on a golf course who didn't have.
On a golf course, classified documents. What the hell was he thinking?
Have that security clearance. But that's not all. Jack Smith also found that Donald Trump likely had a financial and business motivation in taking the classified documents. Now, I think the last part doesn't come as a surprise to many.
This man keep breaking the law. Like, it's just like, this is crazy.
Because we know that Donald Trump likes to use the power of the presidency to advance his business interests, but to use classified documents to advance his business interests, that not only is a crime, but it's also corruption at a scale that honestly.
Y'all think he's gonna get in trouble? Oh, God.
Honestly, no president has ever kind of taken upon. So we'll see what happens. Spread the word. Follow along for all the.
This man think he is God. You taking classified documents to a golf course for business interests.
News you need to know about.
Major news this morning as the House Judiciary Committee has received new documents that are damning about Jack Smith's investigation in the Trump's classified documents case. And guys, it is worse than we had ever expected. And it shows.
Y'all, please. I just had over 500 people in the building with 76 likes. Can y'all just hit the like? Hit the like for your girl. Get me up to at least 100 likes, please.
That Trump had pages of classified documents so sensitive that only 6 people within the government were allowed to view them. And he also was showing a classified document of a map, a detailed map, to people on his private jet. Now, the document.
This is crazy. Private jet showing classified documents to just anybody. 6 people were only allowed to view these documents. Crazy.
It doesn't name who these individuals were who saw this map, but Susie Wiles, his current chief of staff, who was running his PAC at the time, witnessed him showing off this classified map. So we need to know who these people are. Jamie Raskin warns that if this map is related to the Middle East in any way, this severely betrays the confidence of the men and women in our military currently.
I'm praying that it doesn't. I'm praying that it doesn't. Let me run this back, Diamond Gang. I'm praying that it does not have anything to do with the Middle East. What?
As released today, shows that Donald Trump actually showed some of these secret documents to folks on a golf course who didn't have that security clearance. But that's not all. Jack Smith also found that Donald Trump likely had a financial and business motivation in taking the classified documents. Now, I think the last part doesn't come as a surprise to many because we know that Donald Trump likes to use the power of the presidency to advance his business interests. But to use classified documents to advance his business interests, that not only is a crime, but it's also corruption at a scale that honestly no president has ever kind of taken upon. So we'll see what happens. Spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Hit the like. I need 15 more likes. I need 15 more likes, y'all. Like, I push my string back to get y'all this information. Let me get 15 more likes, please.
Major news this morning as the House Judiciary Committee has received new documents that are damning about Jack Smith's investigation in the Trump's classified documents case. And guys, it is worse than we had ever expected. And it shows that Trump had pages of classified documents so sensitive that only 6 people within the government were allowed to view them. And he also was showing a classified document of a map, a detailed map.
A map of what, though? That's where I'm at with it. Listen, y'all know I'm coming right back tomorrow because I'm on this. I'm going to give y'all updates on the escalation because it's going to be one, and on these classified documents.
To people on his private jet. Now, the document doesn't name who these individuals were who saw this map, but Susie Wiles, his current chief of staff, who was running his PAC at the time, witnessed him showing off this classified map. So we need to know who these people are. Jamie Raskin warns that if this map is related to the Middle East in any way, this severely betrays the confidence of the men and women in our military currently fighting in Iran.
I'm praying it don't. I'm praying it does not.
Now, these classified docs that only 6 people in the government were allowed to view pertain to Trump's business interests, according to the Judiciary Committee's letter released today. Jamie Raskin alleges a massive cover-up.
Straight corruption. Corruption. While sending our troops over there to fight a war of choice. This is a lot, y'all. This is a lot.
Taking place regarding this from the DOJ to protect the president, who may have sold out the United States national security to enrich himself.
That would be crazy if he sold us out about some money, y'all. Oh my God. This is crazy.
Within the documents, prosecutors warned that some of the materials posed aggravated potential harm to the national security of the United States. Guys, this is major.
So it's potential harm of the security of the U.S. This is our president, y'all. Let me get 10 more likes, y'all. I'm asking y'all, please and thank you. Y'all know I gotta follow this. You risk the security of the United States. All about money.
To know more about what was happening here, and this is exactly why Trump should have been fully prosecuted for this. It's more than likely he would have been found guilty, and that itself is a tragedy. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
There is a new inquiry into the Trump Mar-a-Lago classified records matter, the one that was dismissed in criminal court by federal judge Eileen Cannon in July 2024. According to a new inquiry, I want to show.
You know what, y'all? I got to look up to see if it was dismissed with prejudice. That's what I need to look up, and I will. Let's go. Because it sounds like he can't be brought back up on these charges.
To you from the ranking member of the House Committee on the Judiciary, some of the recently revealed documents that were shared with the Committee on the Judiciary indicate, or potentially indicate, Trump showed a classified record on a trip on a plane from Florida to Bedminster in June 2022. And also,
please, y'all, can I get 9 more likes? 9 more likes. That's all I need. And I'll be so happy. Just 9 more.
That there was potentially a classified map in that record, and records were either seen or shared by Trump outside of the presidency during the 4 years in between the Trump terms that were so classified, only 6 people in the American government had access to them. The questions that have been submitted to the Trump administration and the Department of Justice by the Committee on the Judiciary include these 6. They want information by Tuesday.
All right, listen, they want information by Tuesday, and we're going to go over the information that they're requesting. I need 6 more likes, Diamond Gang. Come on, y'all. Let's go. 6 more. 6 more. That's it. That's all. Come on, y'all. All right, let's go over these questions, what they're asking, what they want.
Indicating, what did that classified map detail?
Okay, so what did the classified map detail? Come on, y'all. 4 more likes. Let's go.
Was it improperly retained? Was there some business interest Trump may have had involving those classified records that may have been a motive for keeping the records? And what's more, I think it's important to note here what the ranking member, Jamie Raskin of Maryland, of the Judiciary Committee.
That's obvious that there was a motive, like for him to bring show those classified documents. 2 more likes, y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
Is saying in this new inquiry that they saw these records recently as part of that Arctic frost investigation that the Senate Committee on the Judiciary and House Judiciary Committee members have had a big interest in, looking back at Special Counsel Jack Smith's work investigating Trump. They have alleged it was an overreach by Trump. What Raskin and the Democrats are saying is, through this effort to unearth some type of scandal through Arctic frost or problems in Arctic frost, they have surfaced new records for all to see that raise questions about those classified records.
1 more like, y'all. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Donald Trump made a post on social media minutes before trade.
Now, okay, that was in the news today about those classified documents. Now we're getting ready to get into the insider trading thing that happened when he announced the strike.
It has bet hundreds of millions of dollars on oil contracts. But why? Well, some analysts say that they had prior knowledge of what the president was going to say. It's known as insider trading, which is illegal. So here's what we know.
I told y'all yesterday it was insider trading. I knew that.
About what happened. At 6:50 Monday morning US East Coast time, thousands of oil contracts exchanged hands, way more than usually happens.
But here's the deal. It was somebody in that room that made the calls. Let's go.
At that time on a Monday. 15 minutes later, Donald Trump posted that the US would be postponing strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure. This caused the price of oil to drop significantly. Those traders who had bet on oil would have made an awful lot of money from that change in price. So who are these traders, and did they know about Trump's announcement? The truth is,
absolutely. They were in the room with him. They were in the room with him.
We don't know. It's down to the US financial authorities to decide whether to investigate. They haven't responded to a BBC request for comment.
What y'all think? Y'all think they're going to investigate or they going to let it slide? He gets away with everything.
The White House, meanwhile, says it doesn't tolerate anyone illegally profiteering off of inside knowledge.
This White House is a full-time corruption racket, and we got the latest example of how early Monday morning, before you probably even showed up to work, at 6:50 that morning, a whole bunch of activity happens in the oil contracts market, about $580 million of trades, that kind of scale.
580 million in trades. I got over 500 people in the room. Please hit the like. Please and thank you. Please hit the like.
Scale never happens on a Monday morning at 6:50, but it was happening for a reason, because people that were making those bets knew that a few minutes later, Donald Trump was about to post something on social media.
Put a one in the chat if you think that it was someone in that room with Trump and knew that Trump was going to make these announcements. Put a two if you think it had nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them. I want to see who think that it was them. Put them ones in the chat. If you think put a two. If you think they had nothing to do with it, put a two in the chat. Let's go.
He posted essentially was an announcement that he was going to put off attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure and that he was going to invest in peace negotiations. And the result of that was that the price of oil, which had gotten really high, came down precipitously. And if you had bet the right way at 6:50, you made a whole bunch of money.
If this ain't a insider trading, I don't know what the hell it is. I see a lot of I see one. James, you think they innocent? Okay.
About a couple hours later. And of course, we know exactly what happened. The people that made those bets at 6:50, they were either members of Trump's family, or they were people who worked in the White House, or maybe they were
allegedly it was the son. Allegedly.
were just traders that got a phone call from their friend in the White House. Hey, Donald Trump's about to put this online. Place your bets. You can make a whole bunch of money. This is corruption. This is
without a doubt corruption. Without a doubt, Diamond Gang. Let's go.
Just astounding corruption. There are a bunch of millionaires and billionaires in this country who are making money off of their inside information, their access to what.
Listen, Diamond Gang, if Martha Stewart could be locked up, everybody else can. And that's my girl.
President Trump is going to do or what he is going to say. You, as a regular person, don't have access to that information. So you don't get to make those trades. You don't get to profit off of your connection to the Trump administration. But that's why.
Nothing innocent about the administration. I know that's right, James. Alex, I'll take insider trader for we all knew it. All right, let's go.
We're not joking around. We tell you.
Hey, New Zealand, what's up, baby? Is it Benji? Hi, let's go.
That this White House is a full-time corruption machine, because every week, nearly every day, something like this happens. Monday morning, you just saw the latest example.
The move in question, the most recent move in question. How likely is it that somebody 15 minutes before would know to sell a bunch of oil futures and buy a bunch of stock futures?
It is not realistic at all. And I will say my universe is invested.
That part, not realistic at all. The type of money they made, whoever it was, they had no fear. They said, hey, Trump will pardon us. Let's go.
I just left a lunch with 20 of them, and I spend all my time with them. And this is the topic of conversation in so many of these meetings.
Diamond Gang, when you see stuff like this, we definitely living in our last days. This is crazy.
Because it's plain that somebody had the information. You can tell by the size of the trade. You can tell by the timing of the trade. You can tell by the repeated instances of this kind of activity, whether it's with bombing of Iran, whether it's a presidential tweet. It's consistent.
The killing of the Ayatollah.
Exactly. Exactly. So these questions around Polymarket and Kalshi, investors have to watch those because they set the tone of how folks are thinking in the market, what we're anticipating for the price of oil. They all fluctuate, and part of the the matrix that investors use is to understand what public sentiment is. So
Pay attention. She's showing y'all right here what it is.
It's hugely problematic that you're seeing these advanced
Normally
trades.
there'd be an investigation, right?
Absolutely. And I suspect that Catherine Clark will be doing that when Democrats take control of the House next year.
Next year. So that's when we're going to look forward for an investigation next year when the Democrats take the office. So Diamond Gang, there's your answer right there. Because the Republicans is running the game right now, we're not going to get an investigation. This is sad. Let's go. Thanks for hitting a like, y'all. Thank you.
Does this incentivize people to try and break rules more because they think they can get away with it? Or are they just expecting that down the line somebody is going to look back at this and say, I'm not so sure?
Right now, it's an opportunistic market. You can make millions of dollars. You can do it over and over and over again. There's no restriction. There is no oversight, plainly. And there are another 2.5 years of the Trump administration. So for right
now, they're saying another 2.5 years you could get away with this. Yeah, this is insane.
Now you can see that people are taking advantage of this and trying to get in.
But it's not regular people. It's people who are well connected and have a lot of money to spend.
It definitely ain't us, y'all. Everybody in the chat, put a 1 if you got it like that. None of us have it like that.
Already.
Statistically, it can't be a regular person with no knowledge. The accuracy is too consistent. So when you get something like 93% precision, when you're supposed to have maybe 51, 52, 53% precision for even a good gambler, this is beyond the pale.
How does the war and the...
Did y'all hear that? 93% precision. All right, Diamond Gang. Now we getting ready to get into the soldiers that's going over. Let's get it.
gas prices that we're experiencing now, how does that affect the way Republicans are going to campaign in the fall? Does it kind of counteract the one big beautiful bill tax cuts that you put
No,
in
not
place?
at all. No. As the president has explained, the increase in gas prices is a temporary
Nah, this ain't temporary, y'all.
effect of Operation Epic Fury. We fully expect that prices will go back down dramatically as soon as the operation is concluded, and I think we're very close to that. There are ongoing constructive talks right now.
Again, it's not. The war is going to escalate. You watch. When you wake up in the morning, you'll see.
We'll see how it shakes out, but our game plan is exactly the same. We're going to go out and sell promises made, promises.
And they changed the age for enlistments. Let's go.
Keep our good record, and we're excited about that campaign.
2 special Marine units are on their way to the Middle East, officials have told CNN. It's not yet clear what these Marine expeditionary units would be used for, or in fact where they would be deployed.
These poor babies, y'all, going over here, and they are literally placing mines at Carg Island.
But speculation does center around one option for Washington: seizing Iran's Karg Island, which handles some 90% of the country's oil exports. So if the US were to try and take Karg Island, what would it look like? This was a joint military exercise 3 years ago.
Pay attention. This is what it will look like, okay? This is what it will look like.
In Pohang on the southern coast of South Korea that involved a US Marine Expeditionary Unit, or MU, and South Korean Marines. Troops on the beach, attack helicopters, F-35 stealth fighters, huge assault ships, all training for a land invasion. And now 2 of these MUs are on their way here to the Middle East, according to officials, although their mission has not been revealed. Now, if Trump does decide to...
Of course not. It's going to be not going to be revealed. This was all in the plan. That's why he held it off for 5 days, to get them over there, y'all.
Take Karg Island, it would be a major escalation. But a Marine Expeditionary Unit is just the type of unit that is designed for that operation.
Pentagon is...
I told y'all, major escalation. Let's go.
Supposed to be dispatching 2,000 troops. How is that not putting boots on the ground? And you said we're not at war. How is that not an escalation of war in Iran?
Look, I think it sends a signal to Iran that they better get their act together.
And that's what they're trying to do, scare them. But guess what? It's not going to work. It's not. That's why they're planting those mines on Carg Island. They plan to fight.
Need to resolve this quickly, and that's the president's interest, and that's ours. It's everyone's. We need to. Operation Epic Fury is almost done. I mean, I think the mission that was very clearly defined in the beginning, the objectives have been met. We have to get the Strait of Hormuz straightened out, and we need our international partners to help with that because.
Listen, that's all they have left is to control the straits. It's not going to happen.
It's a giant project that involves everybody around the world at some level. So I'm optimistic that's going to happen. The buildup of troops is very different than boots on the ground. We don't have boots on the ground. I don't think that's the intention, but I think Iran should watch that buildup and they need to take note of that.
So why is the army raising its maximum?
Pay attention, y'all. They're raising it. I got 645 in the building. Can y'all hit the like, please, 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 please?
Enlistment age. Fresh new guidance recently released allows recruits to join up to age 42. That's higher than the previous cap of 35. This is one of the most notable shifts in recruitment policy in years, and it's partly because the Pentagon is struggling to meet enlistment goals. But
y'all hear that? They changed the age. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the like, y'all. Hit the like.
Note of that.
So why is the army raising its maximum enlistment age? Fresh new guidance recently released allows recruits to join up to age 42. That's higher than the previous cap of 35. This is one of the most notable shifts in recruitment policy in years, and it's partly because the Pentagon is struggling to meet enlistment goals. But it also signals urgency, which raises a bigger question. Is this connected to rising global tensions, including the situation involving Iran? Well, there's no official confirmation tying this policy change directly to any one conflict. But defense analysts note that military readiness is always influenced by global risk. And right now, tensions in the Middle East, including concerns around Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, are part of that backdrop. In short, this is not a draft, but it is a
Y'all hear that? Pay attention.
sign the military is adapting fast to a more uncertain world. The army consistently falls short of its annual recruiting targets, missing by tens of thousands.
They trying to get more to enlist. I told y'all again, this is going to escalate. Let's go.
In recent cycles. But why do this now? Well, there are a few key factors. First, a shrinking pool of eligible Americans. Fewer young people meet the physical, educational, or legal requirements.
Whoa, fewer. What? Younger people. That's not good.
Second, the job market. Appealing civilian opportunities are competing directly with military service, which obviously carries more risk. And third, changing attitudes towards service, especially among Gen Z. By raising the age cap, the army is tapping into a different demographic. You've got older recruits who may...
Yeah, but it's like, come on. Really? I don't know about this.
Bring more life experience, specialized skills, and stability. But how does this compare across the military? Well, the Navy...
However, the more mature, the more cautious you are as well. You know, the younger guys, they'll go in. Dang, let's go.
currently allows enlistment up to age 41. The Air Force caps it at 42. And the Space Force, which is still relatively new, mirrors the Air Force closely, while the Marine Corps remains more restrictive, typically capping recruitment at age 28 to 30, depending on the role.
Yesterday, it was reported that Trump will...
Now, Diamond Gang, y'all know Congress, they had a gang of things going on, especially with DHS. I did get a piece of where they're actually talking about Trump and the war. So let's go.
Send 3,000 more soldiers to the Middle East. Today, he announced that he sent...
And let me stop this. And I told you guys at first, I'm like, why is Congress dragging their feet? But yesterday, I played the clip, and the reason why they are dragging their feet, or they didn't hurry up and go in to try to stop this, is because if they were to do this, they would assume the responsibility of the war, and they don't want to do that. So let's go.
Sending 1,000 paratroopers there, and it certainly appears that he is gearing up to have American boots on the ground for a senseless and dangerous war that Congress never authorized, that the American people do not want, and that will waste hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money and skyrocket costs for Americans right here at home all the while killing innocent civilians in Iran, in Lebanon, and displacing millions of people across the Middle East. This is not an excursion. It's not a little journey. This is a war.
No doubt. It's definitely a war. Can I get a like? Can I get a like? Can I get a like?
A war that completely undermines America's stability and ability to lead the world towards peace. We have already spent $30 billion on this war. That's enough to
30 billion. And remember, they are asking Congress for another 200 billion. And we were like, okay, why do you need 200 billion if it's almost over? It's going to escalate. Let's go.
end homelessness in America, or to provide free school lunches to all American children. And Trump is asking for another 200 billion. There are so many things that can go towards, including, by the way, we could cancel all medical debt for 100 million Americans in the United States with that 200 billion. We could provide free school lunches for all kids in America for almost 2 decades. And we could
That's a lot of money.
fund nutrition assistance for 42 million Americans. There are real needs right here at home. But
that part, take care of home first.
Trump is recklessly taking us to war, risking the lives of our troops, choking off the world's energy supply, and killing civilians in poorly planned, targeted attacks. We've seen over and over again from our past history around the world that forever wars and ill-fated regime change efforts do not work, and that bombs are simply not the answer.
Boom. This is going to be a forever war. Mark my words.
Administration hasn't convinced, we've seen it in our polling, the majority of Americans, that this war was necessary. 66% of Americans believe conflict with Iran is a war of choice. 60% disapprove of the U.S. taking military action against Iran. 57% of Americans think the conflict is going very or somewhat badly. How do you tell the Americans?
So 57% of Americans think that this is a war of choice and things are going badly. Badly.
And people, they're wrong.
Well, I could quote a whole slew of polls that show, for example, self-described MAGA Republicans give the president a 100% approval rating. A majority say the number one job of the commander-in-chief is to keep Americans safe. I can point here to an NBC poll. 90% of Republicans, broader Republicans, support Trump's effort to destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. And I have to point out, no one should be surprised here. President Trump has said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. 2016 campaign, 2020 campaign.
But here's the thing. He also preached that if he was in office, no more wars. That's what he said. He said that.
Since 2024, he's said it 74 times out in the public space.
But if he is going to commit any kind of ground troops or boots on the ground, don't you think he needs to persuade the majority of American people, not just his base?
I think the president will keep all options on the table to
His ratings is low. His ratings are very low, y'all.
secure these objectives. And as a veteran, as a parent, I thank God he's not kicking the can like so many administrations have for 50 years until this is a catastrophic problem where we have very limited options to deal with, much less an entire Middle East potentially awash in nukes.
Bingo. Diamond gang, diamond gang, diamond gang. All right, I'm getting ready to take some comments from the chat. We about to get into these comments. This is a lot. It was a lot of information, y'all. Oh my goodness, this was a lot. All right, let's see. He needs to do what needs to be done. All right, Ronnie. Okay, let's see. When asked how old he is, Trump relies, I was born before God. You need to stop that. Did you just say that? Oh my God. 200 plus Americans are wounded or unalived already. I agree. No more forever wars. Wow. You said Trump works for Satan. Please, Diamond Gang, subscribe to the channel. Please think about becoming a member. I want to start having my members only lives so we could kick back and really get loose. God said 10 months, and America will regret ever going into the Middle East. From the Master's Voice Prophecies channel. Let me read a couple more. You said Trump inflation. Let's see. Let's take a look at a couple more. I want to say shouts out to my mods, shouts out to my subscribers. Anybody new here, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would love to read your comment, but you cannot say the R word in here. I got to delete it. I'm sorry. Lies, lies, and more lies. No, they didn't even ask the American people for permission to bleed their kids out on the Middle Eastern sand. Yeah, a lot of people are upset. Just wait after Trump's meeting with Iran. Not even Satan lies more than Democrats. You think that? Okay. Trump has been telling a lot of lies lately, and he's not a Democrat. I got to delete this comment. You cannot put that word in here. The U.S. is still searching for its first win in a war. Okay, let's go up. War may end up like Ukraine, where the women have to take care of business. Who run the world, girls? Who run this, girls? Hey, we run the world. Let's go. Those wealthy people don't care. They don't even think about those things. Because remember now, system was set up for them. I totally agree. You said I need about 100,000. You talking about in that trade? Obama Nobel Peace Prize. The family is full of military. My sister told me they asked her to re-enlist. What? Yikes. Somebody said, good job, Trump. All opinions will be respected, even if it's in opposition of what I think and feel. You are entitled. This is a free space. All I ask you is just don't be disrespectful and misspell curse words. Now, Diamond Gang, I will drop the link. If there's anybody that want to come up, sound off, say how they feel, I will drop the link in the chat and you can come up. But please, gang, don't try me. Just don't try me. Be respectful. All right, let me drop this link. All right. Let's see what it do. Come on up. Come on up. Sound off. Tell me how you feel about this war. I just dropped the link. You said if every girl quit their job tomorrow in the world, we all survive. You got that right. But if every man quit his job in the world, millions would unalive in the first 2 years. You think? Let's see. Has the people of Uganda, UG, we need help from Mr. President. Oh, stuff. I got somebody to hit the stage. Let's get it. Peanut. I can't hear you. Your mic is muted. Unmute your mic. For some reason.
Oh, my bad. Good
Okay. She up here. Let's go. What's going on, Peanut? How you feel about this war?
I don't like it.
I don't like
it. I don't like it. I was never a supporter of it. I felt like we should have just let them people mind their business and mind their manners how they see fit, and we worry about our own country. I got to go into another room because I got to change this smoke detector because it's been getting on my nerves.
I agree.
But
why we in Iran in the first place? I don't know. That's the $2 million question.
The thing with that is Trump has been the only president that has literally fell for the trap. It's been so many that Israel has tried to get to join in on this fight, and nobody's ever fell for it. Like he has been the first president to even announce that they're the Holy Land. And that was disrespectful. No president has even sat there and said, oh, this is the Holy Land. It's always been Trump. So when he did that the first time around, I already knew that he would fall for the trap of joining them in their battle. And now they don't even want any parts and they don't want to support us. And here we are looking at our allies, and our allies don't even want any parts. We have
Right.
no support.
He didn't consult them prior to, so I mean, they got to think of what they got going on and their people as well.
Even, but even if he consulted them, sis, they still would have said no.
Yeah.
They still would have said no, even if he consulted them, because it's unnecessary. It doesn't make sense. What is the purpose behind it? Okay, you said it was the news, but a few months ago, you said that you just destroyed all the news.
Right.
So I'm really confused. And for me, I just feel like anytime somebody be like, oh, I'm pro 45/47. Okay, well, did you go to the nearest recruiting station?
Right.
Like, go to the nearest recruiting station. Your support is needed there, not on the internet.
That part. It's just crazy because we literally have no exit strategy.
No, it's not. It's not one. There is no exit strategy because he expected them to all hail the king and to submit. And we literally, as a country, have went too far. Like, you literally just unalived a whole bunch of school kids
Hmm.
because you're using outdated maps.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, stuff. We got somebody else. You go. Okay, I'm gonna add you to. It's crypto. All right, be good, crypto. Let's go. Crypto, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good,
I
good,
don't know.
good.
Hey,
Came
crypto.
across this, what's up? Came across this live, watching the videos on this topic. Thought I'd chime in.
Let's go. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. How you
Crypto,
feeling
So what was
about
the
it?
question?
are you a are you prior service?
Am I what?
Prior service? Oh
Have you been
no.
in the military?
Oh no, but I have a younger brother in the Navy.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel? How do you feel right now?
Ah man, I don't vote, so I would have felt betrayed if I was a voter for Trump or a voter, period. I really don't believe in, elections anymore. It's all rigged. Both
Yes.
sides are part of the same problem. And I think
You don't even do local elections?
I think those are more important. The states and
Absolutely.
like those actually we have more power for those elections as far as what we can do in our own cities and states. But everything else is fucking is just a game.
Yeah,
It's just
everything else is
theater at this
electrical.
point.
Everything else is the electoral college. So I can understand that.
Yeah,
But local elections definitely matter, and that's where your vote definitely matters. I've seen someone lose by 13 votes.
Wow.
yeah. And it's just reminding people that you know if you truly want change, you got to be a part of the change.
Mm-hmm.
We could sit here, we could complain, but unless we really get involved in, in running for public offices and making the change, we're gonna continue to let these people, non-intelligent people at that, run this country into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just at this point between the Democrats and the Republicans, you can see that they play the same game, bro. They make a
They
bunch of
play
promises, they
they
don't
play the same
fulfill them.
game. They play the same game, but I'm very big on it being, not saying just Republicans as a whole.
Hmm.
I'm very big on it being a Trump supporter and a Republican because those are two totally different things. Because
Yeah,
in the military, I was very conservative, and you're running to a lot of people that serve that are conservative because you see that you are rewarded more. Everything that you're fighting for, Republicans, conservatives will take care of the military people. Underneath this Trump administration, they're not taking care of military people. They're taking advantage of military people.
I
So
believe that big
yeah, so
time.
for me, it's like we have to learn how to separate a true conservative from a Trump supporter. And I need the Republican Party to do that as well. And you're starting to see a few of them, it's stragglers, but a few of them are distancing themselves. And with them distancing themselves, they are literally not running the next election when they do so because they know they're going to lose.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. Let me. You said, is it baiting or bait? Bait and Hulk. You said that's a lie. Come on up. Come on up.
I don't know what you're
It
talking
Or
doesn't.
about. I
maybe
can't
you
do
just
that.
don't know what you're at. Okay. If you feel that we don't know what we're talking about and you have a difference of opinion, come up and express it. Let's see if
But
you the man
uh,
that you claim to be.
the
Come
the
up
the
and
bigger
express it.
problem, I feel like the
Okay.
bigger problem that I guess has came to light because of this conflict. Israel doesn't really put America in position to be all it can be. You know, Israel, this alliance we have with Israel, it's a very unique alliance that no other foreign ally has.
Right.
How do you think we got that alliance?
How we got that alliance? I mean, it was
Hmm.
after World War Two, World War One. After those world wars, we've been in a post, Zionist, you
I,
know, foreign policy.
I asked that
Mhm.
question because I think we use alliance very loosely, especially with our history in the US. We use alliance very loosely. To me, I've always looked at Israel as an associate, not an alliance.
Well,
Well, it's not.
they're
Yeah.
like our kids. Israel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the funding that the United States gives it.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that aspect. But when I say I look at them as an associate, they don't step up when they need to step up. They do
Oh, they
enough.
never will.
They do enough for funding. And underneath this current administration, they did enough just to get us to attack Iran.
They
I mean,
lie. I showed a
this
video.
is
They
what they
lie.
do.
They
They definitely
lie.
lied. They definitely lied, but they've always been trying to get us to attack Iran. And no other president has fallen for it besides Trump. And I seen it
Right.
coming the first time he was elected.
I mean, I think all these presidents, man, if you really look into it and you really see the power that they really have over our own government and every president, does the wishes of Israel. They all go to that wall. They all put that
Yeah.
little yarmulke on. They all, you know, pledge allegiance. So
Hmm.
this is what I mean about government.
Hmm.
It's in our constitution that once the government becomes tyrannical and
Oh,
our
you got
enemies are domestic, not foreign, we're supposed to replace these people.
yes, agreed.
Our government has been compromised for a long time.
Yes.
We
Agreed.
have to get rid of certain, entities, three-letter alphabet, organizations, CIA, FBI, that are not government, especially the Federal Reserve as well, which was like what, the last central banking system that was set up.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the deep rooted issue right here is that America has been hijacked and taken over a long time ago.
Mm.
And we've been bled dry for for other countries' benefit.
Yes. Yes,
That
we
part.
have. Yes, that part.
And, and, and,
Yeah,
and
I
put
agree.
ourselves in debt.
Mm-hmm.
to where we still owe
Like
China. So we still
like
have to kiss China in the butt.
this whole situation in the Middle East, the Middle East is only important for one thing, and that's the American economy. As far as it is the foundation of our economy's financial ability and power it has.
The world's
Remember,
economy.
in
The world.
1973, when Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard, remember, we were in a little pickle. Now we had to think of how are we going to get the world to want to hold American dollars. Their bright plan, they made a deal with the Saudis and all these UAE countries that for oil, they will only trade their oil for American dollars, hence the petrodollar. The petrodollar is the sole reason why America's allowed to borrow at the scale they can, because that has been a crucial part of America's power and secured future it had from 1973 to now, because the world was forced to only trade oil in US dollars.
Right.
So we have a very special position with the the world's reserve currency only because of that. This war puts us at risk of losing that position.
Big time.
Because again, and we did it for who? We did it for Israel. And
That's why when go ahead,
I'm
I'm
sorry, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, that's
No,
why
go
when
ahead.
she said Israel was our associate, I'm like, nah, they more than that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
more than
they
that. They're
run
more
shit.
than.
And it's
They're,
like the timing of everything. Because remember, these Epstein files, they've had these Epstein files since the Biden administration. Except the Biden administration sat on it, and for some reason, it didn't come out during that time. I
there ain't
guess
no.
it wasn't
No, that was that.
time yet, right?
Yeah.
Because when
It
you
was.
look at the timing of it, it's weird how the Epstein. Because remember, it's a lot of things going on. A lot
If
of
Trump, if it's my personal belief that if
uh,
Trump would have never been elected, it would have never came out. I'm gonna be honest with you.
probably it probably would have just
It
stayed
would have never came
buried.
out. The same way we're just now starting to get more insight to MLK and to Malcolm X. Like those stuff, that stuff would have never came out if he wasn't elected. They held on to it just in case he won.
Well, I don't
And
want to give him all the credit.
I'm
I
not
would
saying
get
I'm not saying
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving credit for it.
Because it's
I'm
a
not
little deeper. It's even with right now, they were still trying to suppress a lot too. Even with Trump, they were doing their most to
because
delay
he's all
this
in it.
as much as possible. Not just because of him. This is everybody. This is
Yeah, it's
all these
everybody.
world
A lot.
leaders,
It's
all your
everybody.
favorite celebrities, all your
Yeah.
people don't understand this, man. This is how evil and wicked the world we truly are in. And it's like when we
And
see and
I
know
don't
who's doing it, we want to be quiet because it's like every family that has that one pedophile or this and that. They
No,
know about it.
say something else. Don't say that word. Say
Oh,
something
I'm
different.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
PDF file.
Yeah,
Say
the maps
But
and all of that.
yeah, but I don't want you to think that I'm giving him credit for it. But to me, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at timing wise.
And
And
that's what I want to get with the timing.
because this administration is not that bright, they released everything versus redacting it.
So check this out. I think the system is a lot more manipulative, dark, and sadistic. And I think the reason of this timing is like two things. One, they want to put you in a constant state of fear and helplessness. So they already put that on the people, right? Because we all know what's up, but nobody's doing nothing about it or feel like they can do anything about it. And then the other side of that is who was running this operation and for what? This whole honeypot type of operation style has always been about blackmailing and compromising people. So when you look at the files, we kind of understand that Mossad and a lot of these people are linked to Israel, intelligence. So we know this is most likely an Israel operation that was going on, a blackmailing operation, compromising
I
world
said
leaders
that.
to get them to do what they want to do.
I
So right
told
now
you.
it's funny how we're in a global war that nobody truly wants, but one nation, and that's I don't even call them a nation. I'll just call them a false state or whatever
Yeah,
they are, and
I
that's
agree.
Israel.
I said
Israel
that.
is the only one who wanted this war. Nobody
That's it.
else.
They're
And
not
it's
going to
like
stop.
they dropped the files. Why? Because it's a warning shot that if
Yep.
anybody right now in the elite position act up, they will drop
The
the
rest of
file.
it.
Well, they will drop the facts and exposing you personally.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
I
I
So they
agree.
have
said that. I said that. I said they got pictures. They got a lot of stuff. They forced Trump into this. That's it. That's all.
yeah.
That's it.
But the thing is, while everybody's afraid of that, which is our elite people here, think about how much 45/47 gave to Russia, that Russia gave to Iran.
We
Mhm.
talked about
So
that.
either way you put it, the elite is damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because and that's why I said this is while you have the 45/47 supporters, because I don't like saying that name, because when you say that name, trolls start coming and everything else like that. So I say 45/47.
What's that?
So
45
those
slash 47.
the 45th president, and now he's the
Oh,
47th president.
okay.
Yes. So 45/47, while he's out here trying to maneuver things, you got both sides that are at odds and has all this information on everybody. Because Russia, all them times that Trump, 45/47, was flying over there to Russia to meet with him and bringing him over here and all the other stuff, he was exchanging confidential, classified information.
But listen to this. This is what's so crazy. Trump literally lifted sanctions off of Russia
He
when Russia
did.
is supporting Iran to get us,
Yes. And he
which is
did that. And he did that after they had already gave Iran the information that Trump gave them.
this is insane.
And his justification of that was for oil. So that way it would ease the American pain on the higher rates of oil. That was his justification.
That's that, yeah. And that's the right now, that's the only people that's like living La Vida and living large as far when it comes to that. Like you literally threaten our allies, NATO. Now
Well, he
you're talking
threatened. He
he
threatened to
threatened
leave.
NATO.
Yeah, but he did that the first time
I
around. So I don't understand why anybody's surprised.
This, but you
I
asked them
think
for help.
people
That's
gotta
why.
understand. I think people also gotta understand like how the ebbs and flows of power and change and shifts in power happen. And right now, it's like Europe is going through their thing because they still right. They're still divided on certain things. There's certain countries that won't get a part of NATO. The UK, America had little issues with the UK because they were taking oil or buying oil from Russia as well without telling the US. So it's like the next war, I always said it is really about the economies and the 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 global trade. And that's what you see being played out here. And
What do you think?
America's
Go
oh
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, what do you think? You think this is a forever war?
No, I wouldn't pay too much, I wouldn't pay mind to too much of these narratives and these the greater Israel. That's what people should be worried about more is it's Israel and what Israel is gonna do
I
and what
said that.
Israel
I said
might
they're not gonna
escalate.
stop.
Because
They
remember, the
already
first
did that.
attack wasn't even, remember, the first attack wasn't America. Israel attacked on their own.
Right. And just the other day, they attacked their energy structure. They escalated this even more. They
And it's
escalated.
like, yeah, they keep thinking that this is gonna be like Venezuela. Come on, this is
No.
Persia we talking about. This is
Right.
Persia, a country that's been in ancient times, been around since ancient times. They have a lot of history, and they geography wise, they have that on their side as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm,
like
mm.
I don't see what's the strategic outcome where the US, you know, benefits from.
We're
If
not going to
Mhm.
anything, it
benefit.
is where how Israel, I don't know, I feel like Israel is purposely wanting America to drain its resources, putting us in a
That could be
position
it.
where
I
I
we're
don't
believe
gonna
it.
know.
be weak.
I don't know if I agree with draining its resources. I believe in sinking America.
That
It-
too.
It's
Because
like
they got
it's like
motives.
it's like
I
resources. What I
really,
mean,
I really,
financial resources
yeah,
and your men. They want our they want American sons and daughters to die for their cause.
that part,
Mm-hmm.
that part. And I've
I'm
had I've had a few conversations with a few Persians. Some of them support this war. Some of them don't.
Hmm.
And I've definitely pulled my support from those that do, because I'm like, okay, if you support, why you ain't go over there to begin with? It's all kinds of vigilantes popping up everywhere. You could have went and popped up and fought for your parents of being ostracized and banned from the country, and now you here in America. It seems like you mad that you here, but you benefit more than the average doggone freaking Bobby Joe down the street.
Let me say this real quick. Diamond Gang, please hit the like. We are at our 2-hour mark. Please subscribe to the channel. I do war updates almost daily, same time, around the same time, every day, or not every other day. Be here tomorrow because we will be going live to give the most recent updates for sure. Subscribe. Think about being a member. I want to start my members only live soon. Please. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all say y'all final thoughts. It's 11 o'clock here. Where I'm
Yeah,
at.
Yeah,
and I gotta go to
over
work
here
in the
too.
morning. So I'm gonna
So what's
say
your final thought? You gonna come back tomorrow, Crypto?
I'll see. Let me try and
Come
subscribe to
on,
this
man.
channel so I
I
can see
need
when
you
you
up
go
here.
live.
you should have been subscribed.
Yeah, I need
But
you
I
up
just
here,
came
man.
across it today and I hit the link. So
so do
I
you
need you
want
up
to?
here tomorrow.
I'm gonna let you go first, being that I think this is my first time hearing from you.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good too. Go ahead. What's your final thoughts?
my final thoughts is
Or just yeah.
needs
Okay. Oh,
America
sorry.
needs to get out of this conflict as soon as they can. As soon as they can, because if this shit escalates, this is only gonna drag the the US dollar more in the mud than it's already is. And I just don't see America, America's economy in the next decade or so, it's gonna fall apart. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fall apart. And we already been shifting as far as the world powers when it comes to, trade and resources and financial economies booming. We already been seeing a shift, and it's like America, instead of playing nice and understanding that, what, I gotta start I gotta start making good on my allegiances with all these other countries, and just make it about. I thought Trump was a businessman. Why are you
That.
not out here conducting business for America and putting us in a position where we're trading with the world?
Mm-hmm.
Because now, again, if everything, they go and attack that island or this and that, that's a suicide mission.
Mm.
What they gonna do they get 1,000 troops on that little island, whatever. They put boots on the ground. All
Listen,
that's
they
like
got
leading
mines.
lambs to the slaughter. They're gonna
I
get
showed
killed.
I showed proof today that they are literally putting mines, bombs in there. So as soon as they hit Clark Island, boom, like
And they're
boom,
right
like
there. They, they're
this is
right there. They're gonna bomb the shit out of that whole island. They don't care. Right now, Iran knows that it's better for Iran to drag this out as long as they can, because in the long run, it's gonna fuck America, and it's also
Big
gonna
time.
fuck the rest of the world. The whole world's gonna feel pain, and the rest of the world ain't gonna be happy, and they're not gonna blame Iran for this. They're gonna blame America and Israel for this situation.
Yeah.
And there's another thing, like, we don't know if Israel might want to use their own nukes as things keep getting worse. Because remember, Israel has their own nukes, and they could just do that without America's knowledge or approval or this and that. And another thing as well, you know, Israel between Israel and the United States, they would love to see the Muslim world over there, because not all of them are best of friends and this and that, but they would love to see them fight each other. And I find it, and I feel like Israel might even do something even more crazy and radical, because this is everything also is a spiritual war, and we know that Israel, we know that they have their own agenda, and they have their own beliefs. They believe by bringing this type of chaos is the only way that their Messiah could return. So what happens if Israel bombs that mosque that's in Jerusalem?
Steve, I'm with you on that one. I'm not even gonna lie. He said, "I trust Iran before I trust Israel."
I
That's a
agree.
fact. That's a
I definitely
fact.
agree. I definitely
If
agree.
if Israel bombs that fucking mosque, and then they try to play and say, "Oh, it was Iran that wanted to do that," to because they mad at the other Muslim nations, so they destroyed that mosque. That's not gonna work.
EJ,
They're gonna know that Israel destroyed it, and you're gonna see.
Hold on. Let me stop you real quick, Steve. If you think
no,
that's the case, come up here and say what you got to say. Come up
no,
here and say what
Because
you got to say, Steve.
you're gonna start a whole
since you're trying to be
holy war.
nice.
You're gonna start a whole new holy war in the Middle East if you destroy that Al-Aqsa Mosque that they got over there, and you're gonna see all these Muslim nations all turn on Israel,
Yeah.
because they're gonna be called to do that based off of their
You gonna
faith.
come up? Steve, you want to come up real quick?
Steve ain't coming
Hold
up.
on. He ain't coming up. You want to come up?
Steve ain't gonna
Say
come
yes
up.
or no.
He just hit you with the thumbs up button.
So I
Oh,
pray that Trump and America grow some balls and get some wisdom and understand. You know what? Let's declare we won this that and pack up, and then give Iran the demands they wanted.
let me ask you this, because Robert said Muslim and Islamic nations are different. So he says that you're wrong.
That's not true.
That's what I'm saying. They
That's
all
not
believe
true.
in the Quran. Either way, Islam, right? They have their little cultural difference and traditional differences. But at the end of the day, do they believe in the Quran? Do they believe in Muhammad? Yes, they do. So those differences they have, they will put aside if you go and destroy one of their holy sites.
Exactly. That's no different than
Get the likes
Christianity.
up. Get the likes up,
That's
y'all. Get the likes up.
it's Islam is no different than Christianity with how many different sectors there is within Christianity.
Yep,
Islam has that exact same thing. So let's
exactly.
not do that. Let's not do that at all.
Let them have their
And
opinion.
and again, all these Arabs and people in the Middle East, they're gonna nobody likes Israel, and that's not because they just don't like them. It's because Israel has this supremacy complex where they think they're superior to everybody else in the world,
That part. That part.
and they believe that they're God's chosen people according to scriptures, but
I'm
you
sorry.
She's not
y'all not
comparing
God's
them.
chosen people.
I'm so
It's
sorry,
that
sir.
simple.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm going to compare Islam to Christianity all day, every day. You speaking to a former chaplain assistant that has studied all religions. I ran a chapel in the military that had all religions, Islamic
Mm.
religions, Christianity, Protestant, all of that, Buddhists, Wiccans.
Wait
I
a
had
minute.
all of them in my chapel. So that's what
Wait.
we're not gonna do. So
Did y'all
studying
hear?
religion is something that I do, sir. So don't come for me.
Wait, and I think there's a reason why he's saying that. Did y'all hear what I can't think of who it was, what his pastor had to say when
You
he witnessed
talking about
what happened.
you talking about that crazy joker.
Yes, yes.
I
That
know
was
what you're talking about because I seen that clip the
maybe
other
that's
day.
why Robert got offended, because that is not being a good Christian, wishing
No.
death on someone. So
And
Yeah.
maybe
Christian
that's
Zionists
why.
and Christian Zionists, I'm sorry, and Christian Zionists and Christians, period, y'all need to stop this doctrination of we gotta bless Israel they are
See, I
not
don't know that.
Israel anymore.
It's not
Read
the
your
same.
scriptures on who's Israel now. Christ is Israel. Christ is the seed of Abraham. Christ took the covenant away because of they broke the covenant because they did not stay faithful to the covenant. They ignore all of these things in scriptures. All
So
these
Robert,
Christians, you're
you're a
supposed to
Christian?
believe in the New Testament. You're supposed to
Robert,
believe in the New Testament, the covenant that God established forever.
Robert is the conservative Christian that joker is talking about. That doggone freaking strip chaplains up wearing their rank. That's who Robert is, because that's a whole nother topic.
Okay.
That come April 1st, the chaplains in the military will no longer be able to wear their rank that they earned. That's the type of
You heard what?
Christian Robert is. So let's not go there, because as a person that has studied religion and I stayed silent about it for so long, and I'm prior service myself, Army whore. With that being said, don't do that, because I respect
I don't.
everybody's religion in their place. I'm not going to disrespect anybody's religion. It is up to you who you worship, who you celebrate. That is you. But what we're not going to do is attack another religion. If you don't agree with that country's policy and how that country does things, that's a different topic. But to include religion in it, I have a problem with it, because you're not going to group everybody into the same category. And with that also being said, there are some facts that religion is the root of evil in certain aspects.
You got to misspell
Well,
curse word. All right,
well,
y'all.
what people don't
But
understand
I
is
just want to give my final
the devil
thoughts.
had his hand in all of these religions.
Yeah. All right, good. Pina, give your final thought. We over
So
2 hours now.
yeah,
I wish
so
I could go on. It's so late.
I've been reading a couple of comments. I've never hid that I am pro-black. Never hid that. Never hid that whatsoever. I'm a whole lot more calm pro-black than I was about 5 years ago. So I'm more in tune to self. And being in tune to self, you realize that everything isn't always evil. You look at the bigger picture. And looking at the bigger picture, I'm okay with, if that's how Iran wants to run their country, that's how they run their country. Ain't nobody coming over here to save us and these high
Nope.
light bills and everything else. So if that's how they do things, who are we to intervene in what they're doing?
I
Okay, you
agree.
saying that there's being people being slaughtered in the streets. We being slaughtered in the streets here.
Yeah.
I
They
agree.
killing us
So
slowly and making us
yes,
pay for it as well in the same time. Poisoning our
that
food,
part,
poisoning
that
the
part.
air, poisoning
Poison
our
our food,
water.
poison our water, doggone messing with climate control to where hurricanes and everything's coming more frequently. Nobody's coming to save us. Everybody's minding their business. And I think us as a country, we as a country should start learning how to mind our business and get
Amen.
our affairs in order.
I
Because
agree.
underneath this current administration, it has been so many cuts to prepare for immigration, folks being put on a plane immediately and shipped off. So
Rock,
many
you're right.
budget cuts with that. And now so many budget cuts to fund this war to where we can't even fly locally.
Yeah.
So it's so much stuff that's going on there where we're not even taking care of ourselves. We're not making sure everything is okay. Is our food even being inspected properly? Because while everybody's fussing about these tariffs and
Oh,
everything else, we're paying for those costs. These gas prices, everything is going to start going up. what a bell pepper that may have cost you 69 cents last month is now probably gonna cost your butt $3 or $4 next week. Because them companies that shipping that bell pepper to you are going to want their money back for that gas.
Yeah.
And the
Everything's
So
gonna go
it's
fertilizer,
up.
the
you gotta
fertilizer that they told
and the fertilizer, like you gotta look at the bigger picture of everything. So it's not that I'm anti 40, 45, 47. I'm I'm just looking at the logistics of things. It doesn't make sense. And we need to learn how to mind our own freaking business and
I
move
got a
forward
thing.
and we
as
need
a
to
unit.
stop letting a nation state the size of New Jersey that's in the Middle East called Israel run America.
That part.
I'm tired of it. I'm
I'm
sitting
really
back. We've
mhm.
been too nice to this nation, and they've been taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage of America from the jump. And it's crazy because when you look at it in America, Jews are really the first class citizens in America. Everybody else is like second rate citizens.
That part, Rick.
The
Now, let's not forget.
the amount of go ahead.
Let's not
Sorry.
forget that while we're speaking about, the Jews
I'm
being
gonna give
first
y'all about
class
5 more
citizens.
minutes.
I
5 more
know,
minutes.
sis. I know. I was trying to get my closing thoughts and I was trying to figure out what I was going to say because I was reading the comments as well. You told me to stop doing that. But
Yes, I
while
did.
we're speaking about that, let's also not get away from the white genocide that was being preached to us a couple of months ago. Did you know that they just
Mm-hmm.
went back to Africa? They came here and immediately
Who?
got food stamps and everything else. Money put in their pockets, all of this. Again,
Let me
stop
stop you.
worrying
Listen,
about
listen,
other
listen, listen.
countries.
Hold on. Let me stop you. If you have an opposing opinion, that's fine. Do not be disrespectful in my chat. If you want to, you have something to say or a rebuttal, hit the link. It's just that simple.
Yeah, what we're not
All
gonna
right.
talk about is the black community when we got mass shootings, mass pow pows and everything at these schoolhouses, at these churches, these synagogues, these doggone freaking mosques, and everything else. They ain't the black community doing that. So let's not do that.
Yeah, I just deleted that comment. You can't be
Yeah, we're
disrespectful.
not going to do that. In all communities, we have our faults. We have our
Mm-hmm.
faults in all communities across America. Not one is more unruly than the other.
Yeah, hit
So
the like, y'all.
be
Hit the like.
respectful. I'm done because that comment just made me mad, and I don't want to
Hit the
cuss.
like. Hit the like,
I'm
y'all.
gonna save cussing for my live on Saturday.
I didn't even see the comments.
Yeah, I told you to stop watching them. All right, Diamond Gang. We'll be here tomorrow for sure.
But
Make
foreign
sure y'all
policy
subscribe.
change.
Huh? What you say?
All right. I
You gonna
said,
come tomorrow?
this really needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
Hopefully, if I catch it.
you gonna catch it. You going what time
But
zone are you on?
East
East
Coast.
Coast, baby.
Yeah, East Coast, the best
He said,
coast.
yeah, he said it was 11 o'clock his time too.
Oh, I didn't hear East Coast. Then you gonna
Yeah.
catch this live, boo.
Uh,
Hey, we going live tomorrow in between 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow. You be there. Come on. We need you up here.
9:30
Peanut,
to
you in?
5.
You in on
I'm
it?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching and for your support.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how we gonna join together and fix this locally outside of
Yeah.
what our administration, our government is doing.
West Coast, the
Because
best coast. Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
it ain't just at the federal level. You got to worry about your local elections too. So y'all get out there and vote. We got an election season coming in November. Y'all get out there and vote and make sure y'all voices are heard and stop thinking about things at the federal level to where your vote really don't matter because there's a whole electoral college that's going to vote for you.
All right,
And
Diamond Gang. I want to
good
say
night.
this. Shouts out to my subscribers. Shouts out if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Please turn your notifications on. Shouts out to my beautiful mods. Thank you so much, Crypto, for coming up. And
You're welcome. No
I'll see
problem.
you tomorrow, boo. All right, take care.
Okay. Have a good night.
All right, Diamond Gang. It's bedtime for you, girl. I'll get up with y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.
It's your under degree. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling this tea.